Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Let me quickly take you through the headlines this evening. Fraud IAS, Puja shunted out of Maharashtra. Puja Khedkar relieved of all duties and recalled back to IAS Academy. Mega India Today impact of IAS fraud exposed. New video of IAS Puja's mother's VVIP high-handedness surfaces. In 2022, Manorma Khedkar yelled at metro workers to stop construction work. All of this after the video of her brandishing a gun at farmers. 4 soldiers killed in Doda terror encounter. Nation salutes braves in wreath-laying ceremony. Jammu top cop blames regional parties. Mehbooba Mufti demands DGP resignation. Politics over Doda encounter peaks. Congress blames Modi government. AIMIM chief Owaisi says Modi government unable to control terrorism. CBI NEET leak probe intensifies. 2 more arrests from Bihar and Jharkhand. Accused who stole NEET paper and accused who distributed papers, both arrested. Another shocking murder rocks Tamil Nadu. Gang chases down and hacks NTK Neta to death in Madurai. BJP lashes out, demands Stalin's resignation. Trump's first appearance after assassination bid. Attends Republican convention in Milwaukee with a bandaged ear. Names JD once as his vice president pick. Top story comes in from Pune, where the IAS fraud Puja Khedkar has been shunted out of Maharashtra in a big India Today impact. Puja Khedkar has been relieved of all duties by the Maharashtra government. Puja Khedkar's IAS training has been halted and she has now been recalled by the IAS Academy in Mussoorie, where she will have to report back by July 23rd. Meanwhile, a new video of her mother has surfaced showing more instances of VVIP high-handedness. The hunt continues for Puja's parents, her mother and her father, who are now on the run. My colleague Omkar Wable joining us live with the latest from Pune. Omkar, India Today impact, Puja called back. What's the latest, and give us the details?
Well, now it is clear that she'll have to wind up her stuff and she'll have to go back to the her academy, Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy, which is located in the Mussoorie, because that the academy which holds her actual legal custody, being a probationary officer, because as being a trainee, she does not belong to the full-time employee of Maharashtra government, and that is why the Maharashtra government could not able to take exact action against her. But now we have to understand the probe has been initiated on the different level. Like central government has already initiated one member of a committee which is going to be investigate all the documents of her, whether it is fraud or not. But it is already, I guess it is crystal clear that how she was trying to appear UPSC under different multiple disability quotas, and how she was going through those different illegal activities and different addresses, different names, and changing in her age. So till 23rd of July, she'll have to go back to the Mussoorie, and her rest of training period will be completed over there. But at least now, Maharashtra government has issued a letter, and especially Additional Chief Secretary Mr. Gadre issued letter that the rest training period will be completed in the Mussoorie itself, and the contract, basically the training period with the Maharashtra government has it is put on the hold.
All right, appreciate you joining us. We're going to come back to you for more, Omkar. With that, let's shift focus right now to Jammu and Kashmir and the massive terror attack in Doda. The terror, in fact, bleeding Jammu and Kashmir once again. 4 soldiers were killed in an encounter in Jammu's Doda. The hunt for the terrorists continues, but sources say they may have fled the area. This is the 5th such terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir region in just 1 month.
Captain Brijesh Thapa killed in action in the Doda encounter. Sepoy Bijendra killed in action in the Doda encounter. Sepoy Ajay, killed in action in the Doda encounter. Naik D Rajesh, killed in action in the Doda encounter. Yet another terror attack in Jammu division where 4 army braves lost their lives. The encounter took place when the troops of the 10 Rashtriya Rifles and the Special Operations Group of the J&K Police launched a joint cordon and search operation 55 kilometers from Doda town in the Desa forest belt.
This entire stretch is surrounded by dense forests, mountains, so it becomes very difficult for security forces to carry out counter-terror operation in areas like these. Unfortunately, on most occasions in the recent past, the Pakistani terrorists who have carried out these dastardly terror attacks have managed to escape from the terror attack spots. That is why this time around, the security forces want to ensure that these coward Pakistani terrorists don't escape and they are neutralized as soon as possible.
Among the 4 army men killed in action was an officer, just 27 years old, who led his brave troops in chasing the fleeing terrorists in the challenging, thickly forested terrain. Captain Brijesh Thapa joined the army just 5 years ago. His shattered, grieving parents remembered their brave son and expressed today how proud they are of him.
गर्व तो अभी हो गया ही, क्योंकि नेचुरली उसने अपने देश के लिए अपने जान दे रखा है ना, तो हो गए. बट हमारा तो काफ़ी बड़ा लॉस भी हो गया वो, तो वो हमको अभी टाइम लगेगा थोड़ा सा अंडरस्टैंड करना. अभी भी हमको ऐसे लग रहा है कि पता नहीं अभी क्या हो रहा है वो,
क्योंकि उसका इंटरेस्ट छोटे से फौज में और देश के लिए लड़ना था, तो उन्होंने अपना कभी वो ऐसे डरे नहीं, कभी वो झुके नहीं, और हमेशा जो है वो जो भी काम था वो अपना ठीक ठाक करता था और जो भी बोला वो सही करता था.
Officials said the gun battle began after a cordon and search operation was launched in the Desa forest area around 7:45 p.m. on Monday.
Based on that specific input, a massive anti-terror operation was launched by the security forces. Indian Army and Special Operations Group of Jammu and Kashmir Police worked together, and this counter-terror operation was launched at about 7 p.m. last evening. At about 9 p.m., the security forces were successful in establishing a contact with the terrorists who were hiding in the upper reaches. Unfortunately, in the gunfight, 4 of our bravehearts sustained serious injuries, and in the morning we got this tragic news, we got this unfortunate news that all 4 of them attained Veer Gati. They made the supreme sacrifice of their lives for the nation.
Amidst the spate of terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir's top cop, the DGP, blamed regional parties for helping Pakistan's sinister terror agenda.
Pakistan successfully came to infiltrate all important aspects of our civil society. Thanks to the regional so-called mainstream politics in the valley, there is overwhelming evidence to show that many had honed the art of running with the hare and hunting with the hound to a near science that left both the common men and the security men bewildered, frightened and confused.
Former J&K Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti has demanded the DGP's resignation, terming him a political tool.
By now, the head should have rolled. The DG should have been sacked by now. Because जो इस वक्त हो रहा है, पिछले 32 months में almost 50 soldiers have lost their lives. Nobody is being held accountable.
In the last month, Jammu alone has witnessed 5 terror attacks with Jawans dying in the line of action. In 2024 alone, 27 terrorists and 15 security personnel have been killed in action. With Sunilji Bhatt in Doda, Jammu and Kashmir, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sunilji Bhatt joins us live from Doda, Jammu and Kashmir. A lot of internal politics also playing out at the back of that. But what really went wrong? I'm joined by also Shiv Arur live from the newsroom. Shiv, a massive security breach. What really went wrong?
By now, with at least 7 attacks in the Jammu division south of the Pir Panjal, it has become clear that there is a deliberate design to escalate the levels of violence in Jammu. The infiltrations are mostly taking place from both the international border as well as the southern parts of the line of control, is what we're told. And it is taking the army and the system quite a long time to recalibrate. Remember, in the last couple of years, there have been some redeployments from the Jammu area towards the line of actual control. role, and that's the reason why the security forces are now feeling the heat with this deliberate attention on attacking the army units, bases, checkpoints, as well as vehicles in the Jammu division now. An image or a perception is being taking root that the army may be sitting ducks in many parts of Jammu. I just had a conversation with a former army chief and current senior officials in the 16 Corps who say that this recalibration is taking place. The army will be able to respond, but it is much, much more complicated. This is a less guarded part of Jammu and Kashmir. The density of security forces is far lower than the Kashmir Valley. The demographic is different. The terrain, the geography is completely different from how it is, even in, say, places like Pulwama and so forth. So it's going to take a while, but they do say that in the next few weeks, that recalibration, Preeti, which is very important, which means rules of engagement, standard operating procedures, etc., will have evolved sufficiently, to get a handle on what's happening in Jammu.
But, Shiv, it also looks like that recalibration is taking place from the other side of the divide where infiltrators and terrorists are concerned. With what we've seen in the last 1 month, a concerted effort to target the Jammu area.
There's no doubt about that. You're absolutely right. The recalibration from the other side is most definitely targeting Jammu because, of the concentration of security forces in Kashmir to facilitate the various changes that have happened after the abrogation of Article 370 has obviously meant that, terrorist resources in the Kashmir Valley, North Kashmir especially, but also in South Kashmir, Pulwama, etc., have been significantly squeezed. And this is visible, in many of the indicators as far as violence is concerned in Kashmir post-abrogation of Article 370. Jammu, on the other hand, has been vulnerable because this has historically never been a place where you've seen any violent actions, even though the Jammu division holds some of the biggest highways for infiltration, Poonch, Mendar, and those areas, Krishna Ghati sector, which have seen large-scale infiltrations. The infiltrators always move up towards the Kashmir Valley. Now they're coming across the international border, the LC in areas like Poonch, and staying within the south of Pir Panjal sectors. That's where the threat actually is. So you're absolutely right. The recalibration has happened from the other side to make use and to target India where it is vulnerable, which is Jammu right now. And bolstering defenses and strength in Jammu now is the big and urgent challenge.
Appreciate you joining us. Joining me now is also Sunilji Bhatt, live from Doda, Jammu and Kashmir, where this encounter took place that has claimed 4 lives on the Indian side. But, Sunil, at the back of it, what we've seen as a first is a blame game that has never quite happened before, where the DGP now blaming the local parties and the regional players in the valley, while, of course, the regional players like the PDP wanting him sacked.
Well, Preeti, as far as the Jammu and Kashmir Director General of Police, R.R. Swain's comment is concerned, he made these remarks yesterday while addressing the students at Indian Institute of Management, Jammu, and he clearly, made a veiled, attack at the mainstream parties of the Kashmir Valley, and he said that their politics is somehow responsible for separatism in the Kashmir Valley. But the bigger point, Preeti, is that Jammu region is now becoming the epicenter of terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan has shifted its focus from the Kashmir Valley to Jammu region, and this has been done deliberately because the terrain here suits Pakistan, terrain here suits Pakistani terrorists. It's a difficult area to operate in, particularly for our security forces. This entire stretch is surrounded by dense forests, mountains. At times, visibility is also very low. So it becomes very challenging for the security forces to carry out counter-terror operations. And in the last 3 years, we are seeing a pattern. Terror attack after terror attack is taking place in the south of Pir Panjal, whether in the twin border districts of Rajouri and Poonch. And now even the areas which were declared terror-free, once again terror is raising ugly head in the hilly belt of Jammu region, be it Doda, Kishtwar, Udhampur, Kathua. So it's a matter of huge concern for security agencies, and that is why they are trying to formulate a new strategy to deal with this new wave of terrorism. But somehow a large number of terrorists have managed to infiltrate, and these are some of the most highly trained terrorists. They are equipped with some of the most modern weapons, including American-made M4 carbine behind rifles, and there are unfortunately handful of local overground workers who are providing them logistic support, and that is why these terrorists are able to carry out these dastardly terror attacks on security forces as well as on civilians.
Appreciate you joining us, Sunil and Shiv. A recalibration is taking place on the Indian side to deal with the current security and a political crisis which is building up there, where the blame game, where politics is concerned. Of course, Jammu and Kashmir is headed for elections, and hopefully so. That is what many seem to suggest. What now? But what has happened is tragic. 4 lives have been lost on the Indian side, and action needs to be taken quick and fast, viewers, because this is the 8th serial terror attack targeting our security forces where the Jammu sector is concerned. With that, I want to quickly shift focus to the other developing news, and that is coming in from the United States of America. Donald Trump has made his first appearance since the failed assassination bid on him against him on Sunday. With a bandaged ear, Trump made a grand entrance at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Visibly emotional Trump received a hero's welcome and a standing ovation. References to his reaction in the moments after he was wounded. Meanwhile, Trump picked Ohio Senator J.D. Vance to be his running mate. Vance used to be a fierce Trump critic in 2016, but has now become one of Trump's staunchest defenders.
One of the big dangers in the world, of course, is nuclear proliferation, though, of course, the Biden administration doesn't care about it. And I was talking about, what is the first truly Islamist country that will get a nuclear weapon? And we were like, maybe it's Iran, maybe Pakistan already kind of counts. And then we sort of finally decided maybe it's actually the UK, since Labour just took over.
He's a clone of Trump on the issues. A clone of Trump on the issues. So I don't see any difference.
That the United States, Donald J. Trump.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up.
All right, viewers, with that, it's a wrap on this edition.